I'm starting this video in my kitchen because I'm making dinner. This is pasta for mac and cheese. That's chicken breast seasoned up and marinating. Rice and peas. And my husband's favorite and mine, oxtail. So I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. But the reason I'm showing you what I'm cooking is because today we are chatting about a book that has a lot to do with cooking. I'm here to chat a little bit about With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I really enjoyed this book. Like, I don't specifically go for YA novels, but when I read a YA, somehow I always end up asking myself, why don't I read more YA books? This one was really cute. It was really fun. It wasn't just appropriate for a young audience. It's the kind of book where you feel like you can connect with a character even though she is young, but she has adult responsibilities, and you feel like you want to connect with her, maybe if you're an adult reader, that is. Maybe you want to counsel her. But she's the kind of main character who doesn't need counseling. She makes mistakes, for sure. The book is built on some of the mistakes that she's made in the past and her trying to reroute her life. Trying to save herself. The princess saves herself in this one, kind of. So I like that. The main character is flawed, but she's not someone that you want to fault for her mistakes. Like, you see why she goes down the road that she does. You see why she makes the about turn that she does. And you want to champion, you want to root for her and champion her cause as she makes steps in the right direction for her at this point. So I'm being a little cryptic because I don't want to spoil the story, but it says in the synopsis that main character, her name is Imoni Santiago, and she's of Puerto Rican background. She's growing up in Philadelphia. She's a high school senior. And she got pregnant, and she's been living life with a daughter, still going to school, but being a parent as well. And she lives in a home with her grandmother, Puerto Rican grandmother, and her father is in Puerto Rico, and there's conversation with him, but he's not necessarily very present in her life. So he kind of allows her to do what she wants to do, but kind of steps in when the big moments, the big decisions are to be made. I find that really interesting in YA books where parents are absent and they're parental figures who help with counseling but don't necessarily force the main characters along the parents' path. They kind of give them some leeway to make decisions and to make mistakes as they see fit. So I like that. I like that this book stays true to who the main character is and the period of her life that she's in. You see her like faced with these big decisions, and she's not sure, with all the counsel that she's getting from all these other people, her grandmother, her father, her counselor in school, her friends. Everybody kind of has a thing that they want her to do, and she has her own dreams, but it's about how she will pursue those passions to stay true to who she is and what she really wants out of life. I love this book. It's fun. Did I mention I should have said this. I think that's why I started the video the way I did. Imoni Santiago, she wants to be a chef. She is very gifted with culinary skills. So when she first cooked, when she was a child, her grandmother says that she first approached the pot without permission. So that was wrong. But what she created and what she did with the food, it told them that she had a special talent, a special skill, a special gift with food. And so whenever she cooks, it impacts people. And so she knows that she wants to be a chef. It's like she's destined to become a chef, but she has all these other responsibilities that seem like they would prevent that from happening. So I love how this main character figures out her own way. Kudos to Elizabeth Acevedo for writing a main character, a young girl who is trying to honor the people in her life, but most importantly, honoring her responsibilities to herself and to her daughter. So I love that we get inside of this girl's head, and we see why she makes some of the decisions that she makes, even when her reasoning may be a little flawed. And I love that, like I said, she saves herself. Yes, there are other people in her life helping her, but she makes decisions that are right for her, regardless of what you think. So I love that. I love this book. I love this book. It's the other thing that I read by Elizabeth Acevedo was The Poet X, which was written in verse. This is not in verse. It is regular prose. There is some Spanish inclusion, but for the most part, it's English. It's food. It's a language of food, a language of love. Yes, there's a little bit of a romance here, but it's not just about romance. And I like that, even though we mention these kids getting involved in adult escapades, like that's not the focus. So I feel like this book, as a YA book, is still perfectly appropriate for young readers, but will also appeal to older, more mature people. So love this. Highly recommend With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. So I just wanted to come on here and share my thoughts on it, and to encourage you to pick it up. If you're looking for a book that celebrates culture and shows how someone can stay true to where they're from, but also launch out and experience new things that may seem at first to be contradictory, or may try to pull them in the opposite direction, but could also definitely give a person a springboard to new horizons, new experiences, new perspectives. Love, love, love this book, With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. Pick it up, and at the end I will insert some clips of how dinner turned out. So happy reading, happy eating, whatever you're doing today. Hope you're enjoying it. Until we come back for another video, happy reading. Bye. Things are a little cold because I cooked before I went to pick up my daughter, but this is how dinner turned out. That's the mac and cheese, the rice and peas, the chicken breast, some broccoli over there, and the piece of resistance, which right now I am heating up. The oxtail.
I cook for you. I cook for you. I cook for you. I cook for you.